Have you heard of skinwalkers?
Yeah, they're Native American witches who have the ability to shapeshift.
Right. For the most part, turning into wolves, coyotes, and birds, creatures who are meant to cause harm. It is said when you visit the Four Corners, there are eyes always watching. There's a legend of a writer who decided to rent a remote cabin in the Arizona high desert in order to gain inspiration and go into solitude in order to write. The area is very isolated, surrounded by the vast ponderosa pine forest and juniper groves. One day, whilst the writer was meditating, gaining peace to get into the creative mindset, they experienced an unsettling feeling. The feeling of being watched. The writer knew there was no one around and brushed off this eerie feeling and decided to drive back to the cabin. As she was driving, she noticed a man walking down the street. The writer offered to give this man a ride, and conveniently, the man needed to be dropped off near the cabin where the writer was staying. This man was eerily quiet in the car throughout the drive, causing the writer to feel a bit weirded out by the experience. Once they arrived at the drop-off point, the man walked into the darkness and appeared to vanish. Thinking she was just sleep-deprived and seeing visions, the writer wanted to get back to the cabin as soon as possible. That night, she was woken up from her deep sleep when she heard scratching noises coming from outside the cabin. As she went to investigate, she heard bushes rustling as if something was moving through them in the darkness. She then heard these howls from what seemed like coyotes off in the distance. At that point, the scratching sounds suddenly stopped. It wasn't until the next morning when the writer went outside and discovered tracks from a much larger animal, much larger than a coyote.